The strangest part about love is not when it's confessed. It's when it's hidden badly. Not hidden from the world, hidden from you, hidden in plain sight, hidden inside sarcasm, delayed replies, controlled body language, casual distance, and those moments where something in her softens for half a second and then disappears like it never happened. That is where a lot of men get lost. They think if a woman loves you, she'll make it obvious. They think real feeling always comes with clear language, direct pursuit, emotional transparency. It doesn't. Not when fear is involved, not when pride is involved, not when she's trying to protect the part of herself that already feels too exposed. And if you don't understand that, you'll either chase too hard and crush the truth, or you'll walk away too early and never realize what was actually in front of you. If you're here because you'd rather understand people honestly than keep feeding your ego cheap fantasies, subscribe now. Not because I need followers, because choosing truth over delusion is a form of growth, and if you keep doing that, your whole life changes. Here's what this really means. When a woman does not want you to know she loves you, the clues are rarely loud, they live in contradiction, in restraint, in emotional leakage, in the places where her actions betray what her pride is trying to control, and the goal is not to decode her like a puzzle so you can win. The goal is to become calm enough to recognize the difference between hidden love, temporary attention, and unresolved confusion. That distinction matters because the biggest misconception men carry is this. They assume mixed signals mean no signal. Or worse, they assume every small emotional inconsistency means secret love. Both mistakes come from the same problem. They are not paying attention to pattern. They are reacting to fragments. A warm message, a cold day, a long look, a distant tone, a random check-in, a strange silence. They build entire stories out of emotional weather instead of studying the climate. And love, when it's being hidden, almost always creates a climate. The first clue is not that she says more, it's that she reveals more than she meant to, then quickly tries to control it. Maybe she asks a question that's too personal for the level she claims to be on with you. Maybe she reacts to something in your life with a depth that surprises even her. Maybe she gets curious about your routines, your future, your health, your mood, and then casually pulls back as if it didn't matter. That matters. Because people can fake charm easily. They can fake flirtation. They can fake indifference too. But unplanned emotional investment is harder to fake. If she keeps stepping into your interior world and then acting like she didn't mean to stay that long, pay attention. That is often what hidden love looks like when it's still trying to keep its dignity. She wants access, but not exposure. She wants closeness, but not vulnerability. She wants to know without being known for wanting to know. That tension tells you a lot. The second clue is even more revealing. She remembers what she has no practical reason to remember. Not just birthdays and surface details, the obscure things, the offhand comment you made 2 weeks ago when you were tired, the name of the place you said you used to go when life felt heavy, the song you mentioned once in passing, the way your voice changed when you talked about your father. People remember what emotionally lands inside them. And when a woman is trying not to show love, memory becomes one of the first places it leaks out. She may act detached. She may act just friendly. But then she will bring up something so specific that it becomes obvious your words did not pass through her lightly. They stayed. That is not a small thing. You do not store emotional detail like that unless something in you is making room for the person. Now pause here, because this is where weak men get arrogant. They hear this and immediately assume every woman who recalls something about them is secretly in love. No? Be careful. That kind of ego makes you stupid. Some people are simply attentive. Some people are kind. Some people have strong memories. You need pattern, not fantasy. You need repetition, not projection. That's discipline. The third clue is subtle but powerful. She creates distance, but not disconnection. This one confuses a lot of people because they think love always moves closer in a straight line. It doesn't. Not when the person feeling it is afraid of losing control. A woman who does not want you to know she loves you may pull back after moments of closeness. She may suddenly become formal after a warm interaction. She may take longer to reply right after a conversation that clearly meant something to her. She may cool her tone the moment she feels herself becoming too available. Why? Because hidden love often regulates itself through distance, not because the feeling disappeared, because the feeling became too real. That's avoidance, not mystery, not manipulation every single time. Sometimes yes, but often it is a person trying to manage the emotional risk of caring more than they plan to. She wants to stay connected without feeling exposed. She wants contact, but she doesn't want the contact to reveal her. So she pulls the thread back just enough to feel safe, never realizing that the inconsistency itself becomes a clue. You see this in real life more than people admit. A woman laughs too freely with you, then becomes colder the next day. She opens up unexpectedly, then acts overly casual after. She checks in when you go quiet, but won't sustain the emotional openness once you respond warmly. That contradiction is exhausting if you don't understand it. But underneath it is often one central fear. If I let him see how much I feel, I lose the emotional upper hand. That fear is expensive. And that leads to the fourth clue. She reacts to your absence more than she admits your presence matters. This is a big one. Some women will hide affection well in direct interaction, but the moment your energy shifts, your attention drops, or your presence is removed, something in them reveals itself. Maybe she suddenly reaches out. Maybe her mood changes around you. Maybe she starts asking where you've been in a tone that sounds casual but feels charged. Maybe she becomes more watchful, more aware, more restless. Absence exposes emotional truth because when you are always there, people can pretend your place in their life is ordinary. But when your consistency goes quiet, they find out what your presence was doing for them internally. And if she does not want you to know she loves you, that discovery often comes out sideways. Not "I missed you," more like "you've been busy lately," not "I care," more like "you disappeared." Not warmth exactly, but a complaint with emotion under it, a question carrying more than curiosity, a reaction bigger than the situation required. That's a clue. Not because she's possessive, because your absence touched something she was hoping to keep hidden from both of you. The fifth clue is the one most men overlook because it doesn't look romantic enough. She becomes protective of your image, your energy, or your direction in quiet ways, not loudly, not in a performative way, quietly. She notices when you're being disrespected. She doesn't like seeing you waste yourself. She wants better for you, sometimes even while pretending she's detached. She may challenge you in a way that feels sharper than casual interest would justify. She may encourage you, but almost reluctantly, as if she doesn't want the encouragement itself to expose her care. This matters because hidden love often speaks through investment in your well-being before it ever speaks through confession. She may not say, "I love you," but she hates watching you shrink. She notices when you're tired. She wants you to take care of yourself. She sees what you could become and feels something when you move beneath your standard. That's not random. That's emotional stake. Now the hard truth. Hidden love is not always beautiful. Sometimes it creates confusion, wasted time, and emotional fatigue. Sometimes people who love you but won't admit it end up hurting you anyway, because unspoken feeling does not automatically become healthy feeling. If she loves you but is too guarded, too prideful, too unhealed to deal with it honestly, you may become the target of her contradiction. Warm one moment, distant the next. Present enough to keep you attached, absent enough to keep you uncertain. And uncertainty has a cost. It steals your focus. It makes you analyze things that should be simple. It tempts you to abandon your self-respect just to get clarity from someone who is still hiding from their own heart. So do not romanticize this too much. Hidden love is still hidden, and what is hidden too long can become damaging. You are not meant to build your emotional life around decoding somebody who refuses to stand in the truth of what they feel. This is where your perspective has to change. Stop asking only, does she secretly love me? Ask better questions. If she does, is she capable of handling love honestly? Does her behavior create peace or confusion? Am I reading a genuine emotional pattern? Or am I starving for meaning and turning crumbs into a story? If she cares, does that care have enough maturity behind it to become something real? Those questions protect you, because the goal is not to be chosen by hidden love. The goal is to be the kind of man who can recognize it without becoming ruled by it. Picture the grounded man here. He notices the clues, but he does not lunge. He sees the contradiction, but he does not chase it like a detective addicted to uncertainty. He remains kind, present, self-respecting. If she opens up, he meets her with honesty. If she hides, he does not beg her into truth. He has purpose outside the connection. He has a life he is building. He knows how to care without collapsing into obsession. He can feel something deeply without letting it hijack his identity. That man is rare now. He doesn't punish emotional hesitation with bitterness. He doesn't reward inconsistency with desperation. He doesn't confuse emotional chaos with depth. He understands that real love, if it is meant to grow, must eventually become brave. So if you see these clues, slow down, let pattern reveal itself. Answer warmth with warmth, not with pressure. If you sense distance after closeness, do not scramble. Stay steady. If her memory, her concern, her reactions, and her hidden investment keep repeating over time, then yes, something real may be living underneath all that restraint. But let her behavior earn your trust. Let your peace matter too. Because the strongest posture is not coldness, it is clarity. The deepest confidence is not forcing the truth out of someone. It is being able to stand still long enough to see whether truth comes forward on its own. And if it never does, that tells you something too. You are not here to spend your life translating half love into full commitment. You are not here to lose yourself in emotional archaeology, digging through signs and silences, hoping to find a future. You are here to become a man who can recognize love, receive love, and walk away from confusion when love refuses to become honest. That is the reset. You stop chasing clues as if they are oxygen. You stop treating hidden affection like a prize. You stop measuring your worth by whether someone finally admits what they feel, and you start moving like a man whose peace is no longer negotiable. If she loves you truly, that truth will eventually need a spine. It will need action. It will need courage. And if it never finds those things, then your job is not to shrink your standards. Your job is to keep your direction. That is ownership. That is self-respect. That is growth. And if that's the kind of clarity, discipline, and truth you want more of, subscribe and stay close. This is a space for people who would rather face reality than be seduced by confusion, and that decision changes everything.